I made this connection on Red Eye over a year and a half ago, calling him the Messiah, and now the Danish paper is very slow. I thought Europe was supposed to be so progressive, SC. Not very progressive. What do you make of this? Has the media made Obama's life more difficult by being so fawning?
No, I think he seems to thrive on it. I mean, he loves it. But this is not at all surprising. Denmark is one of the Western world's most secular countries. They don't like Christians, they don't like Jews, and they sure don't like Muslims, who are increasing in numbers over there, by the way. So, I mean, this guy is there.
They do have good weed. Yeah. PAB, I'm not going to ask you about the weed because that's Bill's expertise. Do you think that Obama is actually learning lessons, like especially about, I guess, the war on terror in the last couple of weeks?
No.
Well, okay,
really.
Bill.
I just thought it was interesting that this article referred to this as a welfare policy breakthrough. I mean, no one here is actually classifying it that way, but that's exactly what we're doing. Obama is expanding the welfare state, and if you want to compare him to Jesus, you know, Jesus glorified hard work. He said you should earn your money, and that, you know,
he didn't give away the fish. He taught you how to fish.
Exactly.
I read the Bible.
Wow.
I went to Catholic school.
But what about when he made the extra, what did he make, cupcakes or whatever out of the...
I think it was loaves and fishes.
Handed out loaves of,
All right, we got to move on. Boy, we are terrible.
Wait, I didn't get a chance to bash Obama. I didn't get to bash Obama, Greg. I was only able to bash him in the first story, but I didn't really put the screws into him this time. Good Lord. Cheap Shot Express. Population U.
Don't you dare leave when we come back on this special edition of Red Eye. We'll take a look at some of the biggest scandals of the year. If you leave right now, I'll steal your favorite sweater.
I'm political commentator, columnist, and wildly successful author, Ann Coulter. Welcome to my New Year's resolutions. In 2010, I resolved to work less, play more, get to bed at a reasonable hour. Oh yeah, and be less awesome. Annually raising the bar on all things fabulous is, quite frankly, wearing me out. To put in a way my homies back on Cell Block 8 will understand, this is one shorty that's straight up tired of her own crunkness. Yo. What else? Oh yeah, I'd also like to quit murdering hobos.
The big winner in 2009, fidelity. The big loser, celebrity. And the hottest trend in 2010, buying cool things for me. I wear a 44 short, people. Indeed, Tiger Woods, David Letterman, Mark Sanford, John Edwards, John Ensign, Leanne Rimes, John Gosselin, and Steve Phillips all shared one sordid thing in common this year. They were cheating cheaters who cheated. And what have we learned from these cheatwads as we enter a new decade? That faithfulness never looks so good. And cheating on your spouse is a lot easier if you're not famous. And finally, hedgehogs have a problem eating carrots.
Who knew?
Yeah. That was actually Sean Penn in character. Hard to believe. Hey, PAB, nearly every scandal based on fidelity. I thought we were supposed to be cool with everybody screwing around, but apparently people don't like it, and that's kind of nice.
Well, yeah, people still react in horror when people cheat, and I guess in an old-fashioned way, that's a very sweet sentiment. The fact that we're so scandalized by the fact that this keeps happening. But the fact that it keeps happening, on the other hand...
Well, here's the thing. I mean, my theory is fidelity is a challenge the more famous you get because you have wider options for cheating. So it's better if you want to cheat to just be obscure.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd think if you have all these options, you're going to pick someone who's at your caliber, but these people continually pick people who are just, you know, I mean, you know, out for the money, and they're going to blab all over town. I mean, it's just... It's stupid.
Well, you know, I'm curious, Bill.
It is stupid. It is stupid. It's not stupid.
It's stupid.
And it's stupid.
They're all mean people.
Bill, I got to ask you, while you're still conscious, do you hope in this next year to find a special someone that perhaps might eventually cheat on you?
That's why I don't date, Greg. I do not want my heart broken like many of these B, C, D, and F list celebrities. I believe I'm in the F category. I will say this, there has been so much infidelity this year that I've compiled my first annual Cheaties Award. I have a couple categories. Best use of 9-iron as a weapon on an SUV. That would go to Ellen. Cheater with the biggest face that does not match her head. That, of course, goes to Leanne Rimes.
Yes.
Have you seen her? It is like a ping pong ball head, and the face is literally stretched over it. It is creepy. Thank God she found someone to cheat with. And, of course, the best couple of keeping the scandal in the family, that would go to Mackenzie and John Phillips.
Oh, that was nice.
You know, I've got someone else to add to the Cheaties. The Cheaties?
Cheaties, yes.
Cheaties as opposed to Cheetos.
It's like a breakfast.
It's a vibrating award that they get.
Everything. My favorite of that list that you mentioned, I mean, the biggest douche. Can we say douche?
Yeah, I think
You just did twice. You just did twice.
Is John Edwards.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
A complete tool of the season. I mean, obviously, it's bad enough. You know, you start talking about cheating. Okay, that's bad. But he took it to a whole new level, I think.
Well, I mean, cheating on a wife with cancer and then running like a coward and denying it all the way to the end. There is nobody, I don't think there's anybody on the planet more disgusting than John Edwards.
Hey, come on.
The only thing that could have given that story a redeeming quality would be if the Democrats had chosen him as their VP candidate, and then the story broke.
Yeah,
that would have been, bad.
Well, I learned my lesson. We aren't France. You know, we just don't like infidelity, and I think that's nice.
Much as
and that's a good lesson.
But we can both agree on baguettes.
Yes, we can.
They are very delicious.
And berets, and bicycles with little flower pots in them. All right, do you have a comment on the show? I bet you do. Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. Still to come on this special edition of Red Eye, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy. He's a sad, broken little man.
Aww.
Yeah.
As we enter the new year, there are some resolutions for the stars of Fox News' Red Eye, I think. That Mr. Greg Gutfeld's resolution would be to stop living in a cardboard box by the Harlem River, to cease eating remnants of Whoppers from a dumpster, get Burt Reynolds lifts, and finally take the best walk in New York up north across the border and pursue his dream of Canadian citizenship. I think that Bill should finally have the courage of his convictions to stop living a lie, go home and over dinner tell his parents that yes, he is straight. And finally, I think Andy should stop putting Nair on himself in the hopes of one day sitting in the leg chair.
Welcome back. Let's find out if we've gotten anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, have your two cats, Pixel and Stormy, made any resolutions for this new year?
No, but I've resolved to completely ignore any cat-themed or cat-related questions or comments.
Are you starting with tonight?
Yes, starting right now.
You just violated it.
Yep, I know. Starting right now.
Okay.
Also, I'm giving up paprika.
Very good.
That's going to be rough.
It is going to be rough. Yeah. Yep.
It's a tough pepper.
It is, among the toughest. Gregolog, the future of terror, air travel. None of this crap would be happening if we had the personal jetpacks we were all promised so long ago.
That's so true.
Yes.
I blame the Jetsons.
Never. Andy, I'm getting a little vertigo just from watching you over the crowd. It's making me dizzy.
Really?
Yes.
You need to get over that.
I will try.
Yeah, according to that, Andy does have a jetpack. Look at him go. Look at him go. Wow.
You realize I can't see anything about what you're talking about.
Okay, so move on then.
Because you're flying.
Greg, you said the passengers on Flight 253 survived because of crappy explosives and their own bravery, that they weren't saved by our president. To be fair, you could say the same thing about the passengers on American Airlines Flight 63 back in December 2001, who subdued Richard Reed, a.k.a. the Shoe Bomber.
I could say that, but I'm not.
No, because that might not service your point.
Well, I could actually say that we know, and Ann Coulter made this point before me a couple of days ago, that we know with Republicans, they will retaliate, they will kill. But we don't know that with Democrats.
You don't know that.
Well, I think I know that.
All right. Mike, you said in hindsight, it's easy to connect the dots. I usually use a pencil.
Yeah, a pencil, pen, Sharpie. It really doesn't matter as long as you're connecting the dots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, you said profiling is the answer. Isn't that basically what the Israelis do? They depend on agents in the terminal putting their eyes on people rather than relying on high-tech stuff like body scanners.
Yeah, I mean, they've identified who the enemy is, and they focus on, you know, anyone who fits that potential profile, which is pretty much what we have to start doing if we want that efficient process that we seem to want every time there's an incident.
Is that, do we just, in general, do we spend too much on stuff like signals intelligence and electronic intelligence?
Well, no, that's all important. I mean, there's information that it is important, but we have to drill down to where the actual threat is, and then, you know, be brave enough to say this is where the threat exists. Let's focus on it.
But do we need more human and maybe spearmint?
We need a little bit of both right now. Yeah.
All right.
No paprika.
All right. Yeah. Essie, it sounds like you don't think the system worked.
Well, clearly it didn't unless you're Janet Napolitano.
I was told it had worked.
Yeah, I was as well, but obviously they had to retract it because a guy walked onto a plane with explosives down his butt crack.
Right.
So it didn't work.
Oh, that's not part of the system.
No, that's not part of the system.
I don't think they were technically in his butt crack, though. But anyway.
I think they were.
It was around near his bitch.
It ended up there, believe me.
All I know is this is somehow going to be related to me in about 2 seconds. I'm just waiting for it.
Not by me.
All right, thank you,
Although,
Andy.
Bill, you claimed you showered for the show. You did not.
Yeah.
Man, guilty. Look at me. The proof is in the pudding right here. This is a new sweater, though, by the way.
But he resolves to shower in 2010.
I do. Just once a week.
He resolved that in 2009, too.
Very Euro-friendly.
Danish newspaper says Obama is greater than Jesus. Hey, at least they didn't say he was greater than Muhammad.
Right.
The Danes have learned.
I think they would wind up in the street dead.
Give them credit. They learned from the cartoons.
Christians don't behead people.
Yep.